Former CEOs Meg Whitman and Carly Fiorina both scoring big primary wins in California last week. So as they get ready for their races in the fall, will their business background give them an edge? Susan Battley is a leadership psychologist and CEO of Battley Performance Consulting, joins us now. Susan, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Now, we should note that you do have a vested interest here. We're talking about two political candidates of the female persuasion. You are of the female persuasion. But does their business background hurt them or help them?
It definitely helps them in the sense that it is financial knowledge and acumen. That's going to be a big plus. Going into issues having to do with job creation and also budget deficits, they have a proven track record in terms of being able to understand the balance sheet. So those are going to be distinct pluses. Communication as CEOs also going to be a key aspect in trying to engage the voting public. The voters nowadays are very disengaged. Even in the primaries in California, the Republicans, fewer than 30% of voters who were eligible came out and voted. So they're really going to need to inspire and mobilize the electorate in the fall. The
financial fiasco, the unemployment rate, all of that will not hurt them as members of the corporate establishment?
Well, it's a mixed record. I mean, certainly we look back at people who ran for office. It didn't help Ross Perot back in the 90s in terms of his business background. But if we also look at those who did go from CEO status into the political world, John Corzine, who was the CEO of Goldman Sachs, of course, was first elected to the U.S. Senate and then as governor of New Jersey. Mitt Romney also went from Maine to being governor of Massachusetts. And of course, right here in New York City, we have our own Michael Bloomberg, who is now serving his third term. So we do have success stories. It's a mixed bag, though. It can help, but it also is not necessarily going to make the difference between that much of a difference in terms of engaging the electorate. It's really going to be about what the electorate needs. They need to buy into these people head and heart, not just head.
Ed, what do you say? Do you think there was a real, that these, oh, we don't have Ed yet. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we had him, he was going to be in the conversation.
Okay.
How do you tell, though, who's going to, I mean, between these two women, and they're not running against each other, obviously one for Senate, one for governor, but they are very different in the way they portray themselves.
Absolutely, Erin. And I think this is a case where when you look at their track records, on the one hand, they definitely have credibility as leaders.
Right.
Meg Whitman, though, comes to this race having had a spectacular decade as the CEO of eBay. When she became CEO, there were fewer than 50 employees in that company. When she left, there were about 15,000.
Right.
By contrast, Carly Fiorina had a very controversial tenure as CEO of Hewlett-Packard. When she left the company, the share price was half of it was when she came on board. And she also still is dealing with this reputation of having an imperious style. And I think that's something, too, that going forward, personality is going to be and character are really going to be very important to this issue going forward.
They are. And I mean, Mark, it comes down to things like this, especially when you're talking about, all right, I know we need to go to teas, but femininity and face shape and all these kinds of things. It's all plays in. One of them brought it up herself, I believe, hairstyle. It's not always irrelevant.
No, it's not. It's not irrelevant in TV either, even though it should be.
That's right.
All right, Susan, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Susan.
it.